And good morning. I am Tracy Sinclaire here with Alaska's News Source, jumping in to do a quick look at our weekend weather across the state. If you woke up this morning and you said, they said it was going to rain, and they were right. It is raining out there. Yeah, we're seeing that rain here in the south central area, southwest areas of the state. We're also seeing rain moving into northern Alaska. So just kind of be prepared. If you want to go ahead and jump onto Facebook or YouTube and say where you're writing in from or where you're watching from, I'll do my best to make sure we get the forecast for your area, because we do have a lot going on across the state. We've got some pretty big surf advisories and high surf warnings or surf conditions that we want to talk about, particularly in southwest and western Alaska. So we're going to go over those. Just give me an idea where you're writing in from, and I will do my best to make sure that we cover your area of the state. We're going to start with the next 3 days, and I'm going to take this forecast a day at a time so we kind of can look at what's happening, because it's a big state. We got a lot going on. Here's what we're going to do. This is where we're at right now. Southeast Alaska, you're going to see some continued sunshine coming through. Northern areas of the Panhandle, Yakutat, you're going to see more clouds. You're getting the influence of that system as well, but much of the central and southern portion of the Panhandle still being under that influence of high pressure that's giving those clear skies, that brought you clear skies and warm temperatures for the last several days. Yesterday, you got up to 70 degrees in Juneau. Don't think you're getting there today. So a little bit cooler, but still under the influence. The rest of the state, we're all watching that one system that's over in the Bering Sea. Front pushing into the Seward Peninsula. That's going to see some rain today for you around Nome, all the way possibly up to Kotzebue. Then it's continuing to push into the northern areas of the state. Why this is important? Because we could see between now and the weekend, we could see about 2 to 4 inches of rain coming down on that area around the Kobuk and Noatuk river basins. A lot of water coming down out of the mountains going into those rivers. If you are working along the rivers or recreating along the rivers, be aware that you could see near bankful, possibly even flooding conditions by early next week. And you're going to have extra debris. Sandbars are going to be covered that might not often be covered. So you're going to have a lot of water in that area because of a big push of rain. Here in South Central, we're going to see the rain today, but by Friday morning, you can see most of the Kenai Peninsula is out of it. South Central is out of it as well, or Anchorage and the Valley. Still seeing the rain in the North Gulf Coast and Prince William Sound. So Friday is kind of a break for much of South Central. We're going to see the next system move into southwest Alaska during Friday, and then it starts to pick up as it kind of steps through the Kenai Peninsula and then moving into the Anchorage area. So we're going to kind of a pause in Anchorage and the Valley for our Friday, but then the rest of that system moves in. And whenever you see that bright yellow or bright orange, we are looking at heavier amounts of rain. So that is looking like it is going to slide up into the valleys. So we are expecting a fair bit of rain. We'll talk rain totals here in just a moment. But you see also what's happening across the west coast with that second system, similar path. Actually, it's a different system, but it is going along the similar path as the first one that is going up today. That's going to push that second round of rain. When I said 2 to 4 inches of rain around the Kobuk and Noatuk valleys, river basins, that is all the way through part of the weekend. If we see any flooding, it is possible at the beginning of next week. So this is that second push of rain coming into western Alaska and into south central. Southeast, you still see it. You are actually looking still pretty mild, just some cloud cover, not really seeing the influence of that system. Then we even have a third system that is kind of pushing in. Most of this, though, looks pretty directed just at the North Gulf Coast, Prince William Sound, Yakutat area. Still seeing some rain showers a little bit to the west, but that's kind of remnants of that previous area of low pressure. So let's talk some rain totals. Now we are going with this first pause all the way until Friday morning about 9:30 in the morning here in South Central. By that point, we could see totals to almost 3 inches around Cordova, a little over an inch in Valdez. Seward, you're likely to see 3/4 of an inch, a little bit over 3/10 of an inch for the Anchorage area, but 1/2 an inch in the valley. So, and then even more in Talkeetna if you get up to the Susitna Valley. Now, when we put this into motion and I go through Friday, not a lot happening on Friday. You start to see the influence down on the Kenai. Seward bumped up to about 1.1 inches, over 3 inches by the time we hit Friday night in Cordova. Then we go into Saturday and you really start to see that push. This is showing almost 2 inches of rain around Wasilla by the time we get to 10 o'clock Saturday morning. So this is a fair bit of rain. over 4 inches likely. Now this tends to skew a little heavy, so I'll throw that caution out there, but we're also talking about an inch of rain here in Anchorage. So I think today's rain and Saturday overnight, Friday night into Saturday morning's rain is going to be that next push of rain. Fairly decent amounts of rain throughout South Central over the next 48 hours. Be cautious if you're near any rivers. Not really expecting any flooding, but it's just going to be kind of a messy start to our weekend. So let's talk about Thursday in southeast Alaska. Partly cloudy skies. As I said, temperatures not as warm as you've been. You have been seeing temperatures all the way into the 70s. Not going to happen today. Today it's more into the mid 60s. A few more clouds coming through. It is going to be that mixture of sun and clouds down in southeast Alaska. Into the interior, we were dealing with dense fog earlier this morning. That has expired. We are looking at some high winds though around the Alaska range. There is a wind advisory in place for areas around the Alaska range, and that is until starting at 2 o'clock this afternoon, and that's going to go until 6 o'clock Saturday. You're looking at winds out of the south. We could see gusts to about 60 miles per hour, and this is for the eastern Alaska range near Black Rapids. So be on the lookout that you're going to see those winds pick up in that area. We're also seeing some kind of strong winds. I'm going to switch over here real fast and show you what it looks like from our weather camera. Seeing that rain and wind at those higher elevations, the rain and spotty showers continuing here in the south central area. So looking to the north, overall, things in the north have calmed down a bit. I know we were dealing with that storm that moved through yesterday, so it's good news that we're calming down just a little bit. But we'll say again, I'll talk again about those heavy rains that we are expecting and all that drainage that's just going to move into the river valley. So near Bankful for the Kobuk, Noatak rivers, smaller streams also going to swell. If you are in the area, you want to make sure you've got things off the riverbank, and you want to be extra cautious of debris that is coming into the area. Now, out to the west, we've got these high surf advisories. This is because the storm systems that are moving in, they're bringing with them some rain. They're also bringing with them some high winds. We're looking at winds out of the north today. This is for the area around St. Lawrence Island and the Bering Strait coast, so right there near Gamble. Winds could be gusting to about 50 miles per hour, so we're looking at how that high those winds will push those waves on shore. Be cautious. Really, we're looking at large waves breaking onto the beach all the way from this afternoon until on Saturday, as that several systems are moving through. We're not dealing with just one system. In this case, we're dealing with several different systems moving through the region. Also, let me see if I can go back there. Let's go see if I can reverse. Oops, I didn't want to go all the way back there. I apologize. Let's try this one more time. See if I can go backwards. Into southeast Alaska. I'm trying to get back to southwest Alaska. My maps are in a certain order though, and I have to kind of swirl around. So southwest Alaska, areas around the Kuskokwim Delta. We were talking about this this morning on the morning edition. We're dealing with a similar condition of high surf. Could see 2 to 5 feet above the normal highest tides, and those are expected from this afternoon all the way into tomorrow morning. So just kind of be prepared that if you have anything that might be on the near shore, you want to get it off the shore. Now's a good time to do that. Possibility of south to southwesterly gale force winds gusting 45 to 55 miles per hour. That's mainly northeast. I'm reading from the National Weather Service. Northeast, St. George Island to Tooksuk Bay. Be extra cautious in those areas. Again, if you got anything that's on the beach, you probably want to go ahead and pull it and move it upshore a little bit because of the high surf. St. Paul Island, you are seeing some rain today. Pribilofs, you're getting the rain today. We did see a little rain earlier this morning around Cold Bay. High today of about 60. Winds not terribly strong for this region of the state, but still just noticeable when you get to about 20 miles per hour. In South Central, the rain should end in the morning hours around the Kenai Peninsula because that system is just sweeping to the north and to the east. Seward, though, you're going to hold on to some of those showers. You are looking for some heavy rain today. Also some winds gusting out of the southeast, could be to 35 miles per hour. Temperatures a little bit cooler than we've seen. We've got all that cloud cover. We're not seeing the sunshine as some of us might hope. And around Prince William Sound, It's going to be rain, and it's going to be heavy rain. Showing you those rain totals earlier. Cordova over the next couple of days could see upwards to 3.5 inches, maybe even more inches of rain coming through. So these several systems, at least 2, maybe 3 back to back that will be moving through. Also likely to see some heavy rain in the Susitna Valley. 58 degrees for your high around Talkeetna today. We'll keep watch on that as it moves through, but looking for over an inch of rain in the next couple of days. Also around Wasilla. Anchorage, today, probably only about a couple tenths of an inch, maybe a quarter inch of rain, but we are expecting to see several rounds of it. We're going to see rain give us a break on Friday, but Friday night into Saturday morning, expect to see that heavy rain. Well, I wouldn't say heavy rain, consistent rain moving through. Temperatures into the low 60s for our daytime highs. So overall, it is going to be a little bit rainy and a little bit cooler than it has been. Talking about some of our temperatures here in the Anchorage area, we've been a pretty good run of above normal temperatures. The last 7 days have all been above normal, and several of them, all but one, have been above 65 degrees. So that is one of the measures that we can keep track of. Normally in May, we get 3 days above 65. This year, we got no days above 65 degrees. In June, we normally get, our average is about 11. On this year, 5. Nowhere near the normal. Now we're getting a little bit warmer as we move through July. 17 is our normal, and we only hit 11 this year. But for this month, for the first month all summer, we are actually above our normals for 65 degree days. We've actually had 15 of them. And I think so many of us are just feeling that it's been kind of a cold summer. We have to remember that we have, particularly in August, we're getting that little bit of that sunshine and have enjoyed some good weather. So we want to thank you for joining us here today. You can get your news, sports, and of course your weather all day long on alaskasnewssource.com. You can also check out our free streaming platforms. You can just add the Alaska's News Source channel to your Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV. Check us out there. And we'll see you tonight at 4, 5, 6, and 10 on Alaska's News Source.